Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragunatanvitam Dham Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanmitamscha Agyana Timrandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Guruprishtaya Bhutane Srimate Bhaktivedanta Vaneti Namine Vandeham Bhakti Chikoram Puranganija Preshtitam Srimate Bhaktivedanta Samivanam Namastubhyam Shri Radha Eka Nishtitam Rasayana Katamritam Sankirtanam Anandaram Goswaminam Varam Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayana Iti Namine Shri Krishna Lirakatane Sudaksham Udharya Madhurya Gunaishchayuktam Puram Varanyam Purusham Mahantam Narayanam Tvam Shirasanamami Namo Vishnu Padaya Keshav Preshtaya Bhutare Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Vamaniti Namine Gauda Baba Maya Deha Ujvara Rasa Bhavaka Bhakti Vedanta Vamano Rag Bhakti Pravartaka Guru Damnicha Sevasu Vaishnave Sarvadamati Grante Bhagavate Sakshako Swami Vedante Rati Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutare Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaudavani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Vishnu Padaya Acharya Simha Rupine Shri Srimad Bhakti Pragyana Keshaviti Namine Bhakti Macha Charitraya Swashitanam Chapaline Jivaduke Sadartaya Shinama Premadayane Gurushraya Vigrahaya Krishnakamaikacharine Rupanuga Privadaya Vinodeti Swarupine Prabhupadantarangaya Sarvasad Gunashaline Maya Varatamoganaya Virantartavade Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhuntare Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Tinamine Shri Varshavanavi Devi Dvaitaya Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Vigyana Daine Prabhave Namaha Madhurjvala Premadya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murte Dinatarine Rupanuga Varuda Pasidanta Dvantaharine Namo Gaurakishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambara Sambure Padambujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchitananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Guruvya Bhava Bhumestvam Nijesta Sajjana Priyaha Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannathayate Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasannubhya evacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaudatvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sudhe Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jayatam Suratopangur Mama Mandamatergati Mutsarvasa Parambojo Radhamadanamohano Divyad Brindaranya Kalpadrumara Shimarat Nagara Simhastanashto Shimad Radha Shiragovinda Devo Preshtanibi Sevimano Smarami Shima Rasarasarambi Vamshi Vatatashtitaha Karshan Venu Svanir Gopir Gopinata Shrestuna Vindai Tulasi Devyai Priyai Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavatyai Namo Namaha Panchatatvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakti Shaktikam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gauna Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevana Bhakati Sadma Vandomu Isavadana Mate Chahara Prasande Bhai Baba Tauriya Jai Krishna Prapti Hoy Jai Hoy Te Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitte Kauriya Aikya Adana Kori Homane Asha Shri Guru Charane Rati Ese Uttama Gati Ye Prasade Pure Sarva Asha Chakshundan Dila Je Janme Janme Prabhu Se Divyagan Hide Prakashita Preme Bhakti Jaha Hoite Advidya Vinasha Jate Vidagai Jahara Charita Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adama Janara Bandhu Lokanat Lokera Jivana Ha ha Prabhu Karo Daya Deho Mori Parachaya Tu Apare Lo Inusharana Ebegash Kushu Tribhuvana Jayo Guru Deva Jayo Guru Deva Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Krishna Hoite Chaturmukha Hoya Krishna Sevanmukha Brahma Hoite Nara Dera Mahati Narada Hoite Vyasa Madhvaka He Vyasa Dasa Purna Pragna Padmanabha Gohoti Nrihari Madhava Vamshe Akshobhya Parama Hamse Shishya Ponni Angi Karako Hore Akshobhya Shishya Joya Tirtanami Parichaya Tada Dasya Gyana Sindhu Tohore Tahoite Doya Nidhi Tada Dasya Vidya Nidhi Rajendra Huiro Tahoite Tahara Kinkara Jaya Damanami Parichaya Parampara Janabala Mahate 24. Jayan Dharma Dasi Kyati Shipurushottama Jati Tahoite Brahmanya Tirta Sohuri Vyasatirta Tara Dasa Lakshmi Pati Vyasa Dasa Tahoite Madhavendra Puri Madhavendra Puri Vada Shisha Vada Shri Ishvara Nityananda Shri Advaita Vibhu Ishvara Puri Kedanya Korilanya Shri Chaitanya Jagaguru Gaura Mahaprabhu Mahaprabhu Shri Chaitanya Radhakrishna Nahiyanya Rupanuga Jani Rajivana Vishambara Priyankara Shri Swarupa Damodara Shri Goswami Rupa Sanatana Rupa Priya Mahajana Jiva Raghunatahana Tara Priya Kavi Krishna Dasa Krishna Dasa Priya Vada Narottama Seva Pada Charapada Vishwanatha Ahasha Vishwanatha Bhakta Satta Banadeva Jagannatha Dhanapriya Shri Bhakti Vinoda Mahabhagavata Vada Shri Gorakishora Vada Hari Bhajanette Jaram Mohoda Jiva Shabana Vivada Sada Sevya Seva Pada Dada Ita Dasana Hama Prabhupada Antaranga Shri Sarupa Rupa Nuga Shri Keshava Bhakti Pragyahana Guriya Vedanta Veta Mayavado Tamohanta Gauravani Pracharicha Dharma Prachariro Gauravani Bhakti Vedanta Swami Puraliro Prabhupada Kama Kesha Priya Mahajana Vamanana Dayanhana Gauravani Tade Pranandahana Esaba Hari Jana Gaurangera Nija Jana Tadera Uchiste Modakama Guru Parampara Guru Parampara Parampara Guru Parampara Guru Parampara Parampara Guru Parampara. Page 36. Vrindavana Vasi Ato Vaishnavera Gahana Prantane Vandana Kori Sabara Charahana Nilachala Vasi Ato Mahaprabhu Gahana Bhumite Podiya Vando Sabara Charahana Navadvipa Vasi Yato Mahaprabhu Gahana Sabara Charana Vando Hoyanurahakta Mahaprabhu Bhakta Yato Gaurande Sheshti Hiti Sapara Charana Vando Goriya Pranahati Jedeshe Jedeshe Baise Gaurangera Gana Urdhva Bahu Kori Vando Sabara Charahana Hoyachena Hoyi Bena Prabhuyaton Dahasa Sabhara Charana Vando Dante Kori Gahasa Brahmandato Rite Shakti Dare Jane Jane Evera Purane Guna Gaya Jeva Shune Mahaprabhu Gana Sabha Patita Pavana Tai Loi Mui Papi Loi Nusharana Vandana Korite Shakti Tattva Dori Tava Duri Doshe Mui Damba Matra Kori Tatapi Mukera Bhagya Manera Unasa Dokshakshami Moandame Koruni Jadasa Sabum Vancha Siddhi Hoy Yamam Banda Chute Jagate Dolaba Hoy Prema Danalute Mane Ravasana Puna Achirante Hoya Devaki Nandana Dasa Elope Koya Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Vaishnav Thakur Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Jaya Vaishnav Thakur. Page 200. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jive Doya Kori Swarparshada Sriya Dama Saha Avatari Atyanta Dulaba Prema Kori Paridana Shikaye Sharanagati Vakatera Prana Danya Atmanivedana Gomtripve Varahana Avasharakshibe Krishna Vishvasa Palahana Bhakti Anukula Matra Kayera Svikara Bhakti Pratikula Bhava Vajanangika Hara Sharanga Sharanagati Oi Bejahara Tahara Pradana Shune Shinanda Kumara Rupa Sanatana Pare Dante Trina Kori Vakati Vinoda Pade Dupara Dohori Kandiya Kandiya Bore Amita Dama Shikaye Sharanagati Karahe Utama Jaya Swarpashada Jaya Gaurahari Jaya Gaurahari Jaya Swarpashada Jaya Gaurahari Swarpashada Jaya Gaurahari Shishi Radhamviju ki Jai. page 86. Goranga boli te habe Pulaka sharira Hari hari boli te na Yare babenira Araka benita jarer Karuna hoi be Samsara vasana mora Kabe tu chabe Vishaya chadiya kabe Shurave mahana Kabe hamahera boho Shri Vrindavana Rupada Gunata Pade Oibeyakuti Kabe hamabuja bose Yugala piri Pade Rahumora Ahasha Pratana Koroye Sada Narottama Dasa Jayanita Jaya Gor Jayanita Jaya Gor Jayanita Jaya Gor Jayanita Jaya Gor. What time is it? 8:10. Okay, let's do page 264. Great. Krishna Kirtana Gana Nartana Paro Premamritambo Nidhi Dira Dira Jana Priyo Priyakaro Nirmatsaro Pujito Shite Tanya Kripaparo Bhuvi Bhuvo Bharavahantara-ko Vande Rupa-sanatana Raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopala-ko Nana Shastra Vicharanai Puno Sadharma Samstapako Lokanam Hitakarino Tribhuvane Manyo Sharanyakaro Data Krishna Padara Vindabhajana Nandena Mataliko Vande Rupa-sanatano Raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopala-ko Shri Gauranga Gunavanana-vidho Shraddha Samridhyanvito Papotapane Krintano Dhanubritam Govinda Ganamritai Anandam Buddhivardhanai Ganipuno Gaivalya Nistarako Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopalako Tyaktva Turnamashesham Mandalapati Shrenim Sadatu Chavat Budvadina Ganeshako Karunaya Gopina Kanta Shrito Gopi Bhavara Samrata Brilahari Kalorya Magno Muhu Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopalako Kujat Kokila Hamsa Sarasagana Kirne Mayora Kule Nana Ratnani Badamula Vitapa Shri Yukta Vrindavane Radha Krishna Maharnisham Prabhajato Jivartado Yomudaha Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopalako Sankhya Purvaka Namagana Natibi Kalavasani Krito Nidrahara Viharakari Vijito Chatyanta Dino Chayo Radha Krishna Gunasmrite Madhurima Nandena Samohito Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopalako Hedat Krindatate Kalindatanaya Tire Chavam Shivate Premon Maravashada Shesha Dashaya Grasto Pramato Sada Gayanto Chakadare Gunavaram Baba Vibhuto Muda Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopalako He Radhe Vrajan Devike Chalalite He Nanda Suno Kutam Shri Govardhana Kalpapada Patade Kalindi Vanye Kuta Koshanta Viti Salvato Vrajapure Keder Mahavivalo Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopalako Jaya Rupa Raghunath Rupa Sanatan Shri Jiva Gopal Bata Bata Raghunath Jaya Rupa Raghunath Rupa Sanatan Shri Jiva Gopal Bata Bata Raghunath. Perpetually immersed in singing, dancing, and heartfelt kirtan of the name, form, qualities, pastimes, associates, and realm of Sri Krishna, the 6 Goswamis embody the ocean of nectarian love. Dear to both gentlemen and ruffians, always engaged in pleasing activities, and completely free from envy, They are adored by all. They are the recipients of Sri Chaitanya's mercy, and they therefore remove the burden of the earth. I worship Sri Rupa, Sanatana, Sri Raghunath Bhatta, Sri Raghunath Das, Sri Jiva, and Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswamis. They are uniquely expert in ascertaining the essence of all revealed scriptures, and they establish the supreme occupation of the soul, Bhagavad Bhakti. They are the true benefactors of the people, worshipful for the three worlds, and affectionate to those who have taken shelter of them. Due to the bliss of bhajan on the lotus feet of Sri Radha Krishna, they become like intoxicated honeybees. I worship Sri Rupa, Sanatana, Raghunath Bhatta, Raghunath Das, Jiva, and Gopal Bhatta Goswamis. Enriched with deep faith in the process of describing the various qualities of Sri Gauranga, they nullify the great distress generated from the sinful activities of embodied beings by showering on them nectarian songs about Govinda. They are especially expert in expanding the ocean of bliss and rescuing all from impersonalism. I worship Sri Rupa, Sanatana, Raghunath Bhatta, Raghunath Das, Jiva, and Gopal Bhatta Goswamis. They fully abandon at once the association of kingly aristocracy, deeming it insignificant, and out of compassion became poor, accepting only loincloths and ragged quilts. Thereafter they repeatedly immersed themselves in the delightful billowing waves in the nectarian ocean of ras, the bhav soaked by the gopis. I worship Sri Rupa, Sanatana, Raghunath Bhatta, Raghunath Das, Jiva, and Gopal Bhatta Goswamis. Crowded with sweetly cooing cuckoos, swans, and cranes, as well as groups of peacocks, Vrindavan is shining beautifully with the trees that have transcendental gems inlaid beneath their roots. There, day and night, the Goswamis intensely worship Sri Sri Radha and Krishna, thus endowing all jivas with the ultimate benefit of life. I worship Sri Rupa, Sanatana, Raghunath Bhatta, Raghunath Das, Jiva, and Gopal Bhatta Goswamis. They would pass their time by daily chanting a fixed number of holy names, singing particular songs, and offering regulated obeisances to saints, deities, and the Lord's pastime places. Thus they fully conquer the urges of eating, sleeping, recreation, and so forth. Always considering themselves to be unlimitedly lowly and insignificant, they became enchanted in sweet rapture by remembering Sri Sri Radha Krishna's qualities. I worship Sri Rupa, Sanatana, Raghunath Bhatta, Raghunath Das, Jiva, and Gopal Bhatta Goswamis. Wandering along the banks of Radhakund or the Yamuna, and sometimes at Vamshibhat, they would be forever seized by limitless transcendental states, intoxicated by the utter madness of prema. Blissfully overwhelmed, they would jubilantly sing about the exalted qualities of Sri Hari. I worship Sri Rupa, Sanatana, Raghunath Bhatta, Raghunath Das, Jiva, and Gopal Bhatta Goswamis. O Radha, Queen of Vrindavan, O Lalita, O Sanananda Maharaj, where are you? Are you beneath the Kalpavriksha trees of Sri Govardhan Hill? Were you in the forests on the banks of the Kalindi? Thus calling out, greatly overwhelmed in separation, they would wander throughout the length and breadth of Braj Mandal. I worship Sri Rupa, Sanatana, Raghunath Bhatta, Raghunath Das, Jiva, and Gopal Bhatta Goswamis. Somebody like to do Radha Krishna? What time is it? Just want to make sure this time. 20. Okay, then let's do Radha Krishna Pranamur. Page 123. Radha Krishna Pranamura Yugala Kishora Jivane Marane Gati Aranahi Mohora Kadindira Kure Keri Kadambera Vana Ratana Vidira Upad Poshabo Dujahana Shamagori Yange Divochua Chadanera Vagahanda Chamara Dolavo Kobe Herivo Mukha Chandra Katiya Malate Mala Divoda Gale Adare Tundiya Divo Kabura Tambule Lalita Vishaka Adi Yato Shaki Brinda Agnaya Koribo Seva Charanara Vinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Dasaranundasa Seva Abhilasha Kore Narottama Dasa Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Ashta Shaki Srimati Radhe Radhe Ashta Shaki Srimati Radhe Radhe Jaya Ashta Shaki Srimati Radhe 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 Govinda Jaya Radhe Govinda 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gora Haribol, 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 Nitai Gora Haribol. Nitai Gora Haribol, 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 Nitai Gora Haribol. Well, Sukant and Jagadananda Pandit have been sick. I think, yeah, Tirthapad's been taking care of them, so I think that's kind of a lot on him. And then another brothers were like a lot of Harinam yesterday, and then we're up early this morning for all the Pujari Sevas. And Sankirtan was up late last night working on the flyer for Shiva Ratri. And then the other person, and Madhusudan had a long day yesterday too. And he's picking up Babu from the airport. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I know it's wrong. I started wrong. I went to the end. Okay. Agyanam timirandasya Jnananjana salakaya Chaksurunmilitam yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Nama Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Twadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhaktaya Namo Nama Yang Pravarjantam Manupetamapeta Dvaipayano Virahaka Taruajuhava Putre Tanmayataya Taravo Banedos Tang Sarvabhut Hridayam Munimanatosmi Bhaktya Vahina Aparadalakshay Chaptascha Kamari Tarangamadye Kripamai Tvam Sharanam Prapadyam Brinde Namaste Charanarvindam Tavoivasmi Najivami Tambina Iti Vigyaya Radhe Tam Nayamam Charanantike Kripayati Yadi Radha Palida Sheshabadha Kimaparavashishtam Pushti Maryade Yorname Yadi Vadati Chakinchit Smeraha Soditasrir Twijavaramani Pamtya Mukti Shuktya Tadakim Shama Sundara Sakanda Shekhar Smeraha Samurali Manohara Radhika Rasikamam Kripanite Swapriya Charana Kinkarim Karo Prananatha Vrishabhanu Nandini Srimakabjarasalola Satapada Radhika Padatale Kritastitam Tam Bhajami Rasikendra Shekhar Sambhidaya Dashane Trinam Vibhu Prartaye Brajamahendra Nandan Astu Mohantavati Ballava Janma Janmane Mariswari Priya. What's the story with Tripurari? Can you call him? Good. First I offer my unlimited obeisances in the dust of the lotus feet of my most worshipful Diksha Gurudev, Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Astotra Sat Shri Sriman, Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, and the same unlimited obeisances. If he's sick, that's okay. In the dust of the lotus feet of my most worshipful Shiksha Gurudevs, Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Astotra Sat Shri Sriman, Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, and Srila Bhakti began Bharati Goswami Maharaj. To our Param Gurudevs, Shri Srimad Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj, and Shri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, to all his divine associates, and to all the assembled devotees, and the assembled devotees, Diksha Gurus who are my Shiksha Gurus, Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Madhav Maharaj, Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Bhan Maharaj, and Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Siddhanti Maharaj. Okay. I wonder, Gadagraja Prabhu, if if one or two prayer sheets can go over to the men's ashram for those who are not feeling well and would like to follow along since they're already online. Okay. Once Prabhupada was giving class and he heard the devotees coughing. So he said, why don't you wear sweaters? So he also interrupted his class. In the kitchen, great. Thanks. Oh, fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. And no, but can you hear in there? Okay, great. All right. So where are we? We're in Jambudweep. That's where we live. Let me read again about the lotus to give us some sense of where we are. The planetary system, known as Bhumandala, it's a system. It's not the system that we know now, as we discussed. Like, for example, we'll find out later in this chapter that the sun, God, and the sun is actually riding on a chariot pulled by many little horses. It actually has many exciting aspects. So the planetary system known as Bhumandala resembles a lotus flower, and its 7 islands resemble the whirl of that flower. So my understanding, if you can, somebody look it up on the internet, Haridas, my understanding is that the whirl of the lotus is the whole thing. The length and breadth of the island, known as Jambudweep. Sound is good. I said it says that the planetary systems, known as Bhumandala, resembles a lotus flower, and its 7 islands represent the whirl of the lotus. So I just want to confirm that the whirl of the lotus means the whole lotus, because then it says the length and breadth of the particular island called Jambudweep, which is situated in the middle of the whirl. The whirl of the petals. Very good question. Well, yesterday I explained a little bit that the importance of it is, like, you can understand the importance of a question by importance of a conversation by who's in the conversation. Like if you see 2 drunks having a conversation, you probably wouldn't want to listen to it. But here we have Radhika's parrot and one of the gopis in her association. So we know it's going to be an important topic. Why is it an important topic? Just because they're speaking it, because it gives us a different conception of what's going on where we are. Like even considering the strange way, the strange description of the universe that we learn in school. Prabhupada used that to say, so we think that we're so significant. He was speaking in New York City, and we think we're so important, and then if we go up a little bit, we see that all of the buildings are like matchboxes. Are you understanding, Narayani, the English? Most? Full. Okay, most is not bad. Okay. Um, so then if you go up higher, they're just dots. And then if you go up beyond the clouds, it's just a little thing. And then this takes us to the reality of how insignificant we are and what everything actually looks like and how amazing the whole system is created by Krishna, that everything is down to the 10,000 yojanas, and this mountain is that high. So it gives us a sense of the greatness of God and His creation, so that we're learning here about 3, 4, 5. We can't understand the greatness of 10 if we don't have any concept of 3, 4, 5. We think that, Radha and Krishna are just some lusty couple, and he's a debauchee, he has so many lovers. So this grounds us in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, what he does just by his glance. Earlier in the creation, we see that there is Krishna playing with his friends, but then coming from him is Vaikuntha. Coming from that is in a little tiny corner of the material world is the cloud. Under the cloud is the causal ocean. Then he breathes in and out universes. This is what one universe. Then he's lying at the bottom of the universe. Then comes Brahma sitting on the lotus. And then on the stem of the lotus is all the 14 planetary systems, meaning the heavenly planets, middle planets, which we are. Middle planet because it has some slight semblance of heavenly, and also hellish situations. So it's in the middle. And then the hellish planets. So it gives us a conception of the greatness of God. Just about my name, I was first Syamarani. So Gurudev explained to me that Prabhupada first named you Jadharani because he wants you to understand your connection with the greatness of God in Durga, how sometimes he has 4 arms, and the opulence. And then he wanted you to understand, later on, he wanted you to understand your relationship with Vrindavan. If we try to understand Vrindavan first, like I was just hearing Gurudev giving a lecture, which is like a spitting image of Prabhupada's classes, that's why we come up to the first and ninth canto, and then comes Krishna's babyhood, childhood, and then the amorous pastimes. By that time, we should have some faith that the goal of life, hearing about the goal of life, and how to get there, we're not going to be taking it cheaply. So we can see just by this the amazing nature of this universe, and there's so many universes. And actually, in the 3rd canto, it says that this is the smallest universe because our Brahma only has 4 heads. But there are Brahmas. You read, there's a very nice history pastime in um, Chaitanya Charitamrita and Teachings of Lord Chaitanya, where Brahma goes to visit Krishna in Dwarka to discuss some matter. And he's thinking, yeah, Brahma, the creator of the universe. And then the doorman in Dwarka, he says, tell Krishna Brahma's here. And the doorman left to tell Krishna. Then he came back and said, Krishna wants to know which Brahma you are. What? Which Brahma? You mean there are other Brahmas? So then when he went inside, Krishna had called Brahmas from many, many different universes and many Shivas, and they were all bowing their heads, but we have 10 head, 20 head, 100 head. I don't know if you saw that picture in Teachings of Lord Chaitanya. Huh? Yeah, you see many Brahmas walking into the palace with like stacks of head. Now, that doesn't mean that's how it is, but what we're getting here is what's called Chandra Saka Nyai, or the logic of the moon on the branch. Like somebody may say, some kid may say to his mother, "Where is the moon?" And she says, "Look over there, it's sitting on the branch." So it couldn't be sitting on the branch because it's hundreds of millions of miles big. But it's to give the kids some idea. So Saka means branch, Chandra means moon, and Nyai means logic, the logic of the moon on the branch. You get some direction, some vague direction to point you sort of in the way, sort of in a direction. So, is it really small? So even the painting of that's big in the art book of Lord Vishnu um, lying down in the causal ocean, breathing in and out universes. That's also what's called it's all a placeholder for when we get realized. So Prabhupada and all of our acharyas are very merciful to give us the step-by-step understanding of the greatness of Krishna. Like here, everything is so scientifically placed, it's not random. Like the scientists say, first there was a big bang randomly out of nowhere, and then came the microbes, and then came the amphibians after some time. Whereas actually everything is already there. But then why are there different bodies? Not because of Darwin's theory of evolution, because the lowest is still here. The baby dinosaurs are still here and all over the yard. The amoebas are still here. So it's not that things evolved, but according to one's activity, he gets a particular body. This is a good topic for college engagement, proving that Darwin's theory, which they're all learning in their big colleges, that's how it was when I was a kid. And then when Shashikala and her family was there, Shanti, the oldest who was in college, she said they're still learning it. They haven't made any advancement. So just like somebody is in a prison body, somebody's like he's wearing prison clothes and he's in a prison building, and somebody is in a university building and he has his nice clothes for college. So it's according to one's activities that we have so many different species. So, I mean, the donut thing is a lot more interesting than what we learned in school. So it's to set us straight, make us detached from the misconceptions that we've been hearing all our life. This is one life, and that's the end. What a scary philosophy. So does that help? Okay. So the planetary system known as, can you look up what is a planetary system? Anything. No, just like world we learned. The planetary, I think it's a bunch of planets in a universe. The planetary system known as Bhumandala resembles a lotus flower. Or, like we're given different ways to look at it because our senses are so gross and so imperfect that even if we hear the thing, we don't get it. Even if liberated souls, Gurudev explained, like Sukadeva Goswami or Jiva Goswami or Krishna himself in the Bhagavad Gita, they speak, but because we're using mortal language, even Sanskrit, it's used on the earth. And so therefore there's a disconnect. Using mortal language, they're speaking of the transcendental realm, which is beyond our senses. And then our senses, which are hearing the information, is also imperfect. So, as Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, we're seeing, without the mercy of Guru, to realize we're seeing sights of blindness and hearing sounds of deafness. And also, then you go to the fourth canto, and you hear about the city of King Paranjana. Now, everything in the Bhagavatam like this, what we're reading now, is all true. It's not symbolic. But there are maybe one or maybe two, definitely one, symbolic history in the Bhagavatam. And that is the story of King Paranjana. Everything in the story of King Paranjana, which is in the fourth canto, is symbolic of something. Like King Paranjana, he's the king. Purana Jana, so he's the living entity in the body. And he's been here for a long time, therefore it's Puranjana. And he's the king of the body. So he lives in a city of 9 gates, because his body has 9 gates, the eyes, ears, and so on. And then he meets this beautiful girl and falls in love with her as she's walking in the forest. And she's his intelligence. Sometimes she represents his intelligence, good intelligence. Sometimes she represents his bad intelligence. And then she's followed by her servant, who's a 5-hooded snake. And then he has many subservients. And he represents the 5 life heirs. So it's very symbolic and very, very, very exciting story. Yeah, it's an exciting story. My mind's going there now. So, and then this old lady embraces him when he gets old. Jara, invalidity due to old age. She tries to embrace Narada, but she fails. So anyway, here there's a description of Brahma's planet, like on the top of Mount Sumeru, right, which is 16,000 yojanas in the bottom, and 32,000 yojanas at the top. And then on the top of Mount Samira, there's Brahmapuri, which we were reading about yesterday, or hearing from Prabhupada about yesterday. As we sat at his lotus feet. So then there's Brahmapuri, the planet of Brahma. And then around that, there's planets of Indra, the god of the heavens and rains, and other demigods. Then, just one sentence. So then, when you see the picture of, or read the description in the third canto about Garbhodakshai Vishnu lying down at the bottom of each universe, then we see that Brahma is coming from, there's a stem and then there's a lotus flower, which is Brahma's abode. So we're hearing from different angles just to give us some Sakachandra Nyai. Can you get the mic? Is that possible? Or speak very loud? Look how pretty Tulsi is. She's young, but she's so symmetrical. Yeah.
Since planets in the Vedic cosmology don't mean a globe floating in space, what does it mean?
That's why I was talking about the donut yesterday with an ice cream cone in the middle. And then so between each landmass of donut, there's an ocean. The ocean of liquor, the ocean of salt water, the ocean of, what was another one? Sugar cane, juice, ghee, like that. Hey, look who's here, it's Joris. And you probably have your other half, there she is, the Kunjavasini.
So, planet in this case just means like multi-layered donut?
You could say that. But that's why I asked what a planetary system.
But I can read what they say, but it's a science answer though. You
Yeah.
know, it's like a collection of celestial bodies, planets, moons, asteroids, comets, and other small objects that orbit around a central star. But that we know is definitely not with the Vedic cosmology because...
Right, but I just wanted to know what a planetary system is, so that then that's confirmed that it's a bunch of planets, stars, celestial.
I thought in the Vedic cosmology the only star is the sun, and that everything else that looks like stars are moons.
Well, we'll be hearing from Prabhupada about it.
Okay.
So what we're doing is we're trying to get through the Srimad Bhagavatam, and we started 3 years ago when we were in Hollywood, and now we're only up to the 5th canto. There are 12 cantos. If we had just been doing that in the mornings, then we would have been finished. But because there's so many holidays, and now Navadvip Parikrama is coming up, so we have to keep stopping. So we're up to the 5th canto. Actually, this canto put Parvati to sleep. Not the whole canto, but this part. It's the discussion of the reality of the planetary system that make up systems that make up this universe and other universes. What the sun is doing in reality, like we'll find out that he's riding on a chariot, and he has a chariot driver called Aruna, which, Aruna means, the dawn, and lots of horses. Why did I mention that? Huh? Yeah, as it is. Yeah, Parvati fell asleep at this part. So I'm not going to read every single sentence. But what happened was when Radha and Krishna and all their associates were going back to their Goloka Vrindavan planet after Krishna was here 5,000 years ago, they told the Sukha parrot of Radha to stay here on earth and preach. So how is this bird going to preach? And so he would have to preach the Srimad Bhagavatam. So what happened was he wanted, even though he was Radharani's parrot and he knows everything, still by pastime, he wanted to hear more Bhagavatam. Um, so he saw that Lord Shiva was speaking Bhagavatam to Parvati. And Parvati is so amazing. She's the personification of the entire material energy. She controls all the universes, puts the living entities in illusion. So she's sitting there and hearing the Bhagavatam. They also do kirtan together with their associates in Kailash, their planet. So he's speaking the Bhagavatam, and Sukadeva, the bird, flies to one of the branches of the tree, and he's listening. And then, while Parvati was awake, yeah, okay, go on. But then around this part, she fell asleep. And so the Sukha parrot wanted Lord Shiva to keep going because he had to hear. So, because parrots imitate people's voices. Remind me at the end and tell you a funny story about two different parrots. But anyway, regarding the importance of association. So, in Parvati's voice, Sukha kept saying, very good, keep going. And then towards the end, like you come to the 10th canto with all the beautiful pastimes of Krishna as a child, and then his amorous pastimes, going to Dwarka. So then, she went like that, waking up, and she said, "What happened?" He said, she did, so Lord Shiva didn't know she was sleeping. So she said, I fell asleep. He said, no, you didn't. You were saying, go on and all that. So they realized it must be somebody else. So Lord Shiva saw the Sukha on the branch, and he thought, now this is all pastimes because all the three of them know everything. But now how is Sukha going to get into a human body to preach? So Lord Shiva thought, an unqualified being is hearing this Bhagavatam. I have to kill him because he's not qualified. So he started chasing Sukha, and Sukha flew into the mouth of Vyasdev's wife, who was very interested in hearing the Bhagavatam. So interested that her mouth was open, like when you really love hearing something. I can't believe it. So she was hearing like that. And so Sukha flew into her mouth and down into her abdomen. And then he stayed there for, sometimes he said 11 years, 12 years, 16 years. 16 years. So then Vyasdev said, please come out. You've been there for so many years. Don't give your mother any inconvenience. So the baby in the womb said, well, I'm afraid to come out because there's nothing but Maya out there. So Vyasdev said, well, all right, it's all right. You'll be protected from Maya. But he didn't believe him. The baby didn't believe him. So he said, okay, I'll call Krishna. So Krishna came from Dwarka, and he said, my word is that you'll be free from Maya. So then Sukha came out as a young boy of 16 years old, and he immediately left. And then he preached the Bhagavatam. Why did I mention that? Yeah, about this part of the Bhagavatam. Right. So Gurudev was giving a lecture in one of the countries that he was traveling in, and he said, you should all be like Vyasdev's wife, so that sukha will fly into you, your mouth. Means all knowledge, because Sukadeva is the embodiment of all knowledge. Okay. Um, and regarding the importance of association, I'll tell the, the parrot story that Gurudev told. So there was a hunter, not a killer of birds, but he would capture the birds and then bring them to the stores that sold birds, and people would buy them. So he captured these two parrots, and they went to two different houses. And one of the houses, the guy was a real nasty person. What are you doing here? And the other was a very kind, welcoming person. So, well, welcome. I'm so happy to see you. And so then one man was going to these two houses, and in one of them, the parrot was saying, "What are you doing here? Get out of here!" And the other one, the parrot, "Oh, welcome. I'm so happy to see you." So it shows the importance of association. How is that? Okay. So anyway, um, let's go. After all that big introduction, let's go. So the planetary system known as Bhumandala. And yesterday we showed. Do you have a fifth? Do you have the whole set of Bhagavatams? So you know in the fifth canto there's those charts in the very beginning to the fifth canto. If you want, you could just to see the charts. It shows, like the scientists have their charts, but and again, this is just Sakachandra Nyai. It shows a couple of It shows a couple of maps of the universe, and exactly how many miles one planet is from another. All the this shows the donut thing. You can see it's round with the liquor ocean, sugarcane juice ocean, the milk ocean. This is not the milk ocean that's way up on the top of the universe, way to do it. So it's just to give us a vague idea. The planetary system known as, if we picture it, that's not going to be exactly it. Like, you're not going to see a lotus flower. I mean, when you get realized, you're not going to see a lotus flower. You'll see something much more amazing. The planetary system known as Bhumandala resembles a lotus flower, and its 7 islands resemble the whorl of the lotus. The length and breadth of the island known as Jambudweep, that's where we live, which is situated in the middle of the whorl, and then it gives the miles, is 8 million miles, and its shape, the shape is round, like the leaf of a lotus, the lotus leaf, it's round actually. In Jambudweep there are 9 divisions of land, each with a length of 72,000 miles. See, this is not the ascending process where somebody will go around the world and what he thinks is the world and measure everything. But this is descending process. Everything is given. There are 8 mountains that mark the boundaries of these divisions and separate them nicely. Mm-hmm. Well, if we had perfect senses, we wouldn't see a a lotus flower. It's just to give us an idea. You know what I mean? So even when we're trying to understand the lotus flower, the center of the lotus flower, the pericarp of the lotus flower, which is another planet, it's still we're hearing with our imperfect senses. And so we're getting a picture, which is also imperfect, but it's on the way to perfect as long as my hearing is accompanied by bhajan and service. Right, so it's coming from, they can't imagine. Exactly. And just like they say, this is our moon, and the sun is far away, further than the moon. But actually, we read here that the sun is closer than the moon, and the moon is bigger than the sun. So then, okay, amidst these divisions or varshas is the varsha named Ilavrita, which is situated in the middle of the whirl of the lotus. Within Ilavrita Varsha is Mount Sumeru, as we discussed yesterday, as we heard from Prabhupada yesterday. And we heard from who? Sukadeva speaking to Maharaj Pariksit, that there's a kind of ice cream cone shape coming right through the earth, going way up to the top of the universe, where Lord Brahma lives. And that is called Mount Sumeru. It's made of gold, but it's not that the peacocks there are made of gold. It's just the land is made of gold. And everything is so many exact miles. This is called the descending. Do you want to find out? Can she get through there somehow? Thanks. Yeah. I want to find out if everyone, if man is mortal. So I go house to house. Did anybody die around here? Anybody die around here? And so then by the ascending process, I will come to the educated guess that everyone's mortal. But I can just hear from authority. Like from so-called authority, we find out different events of the earth. Like there's a war here, this guy got murdered there. So we have to hear from authority, but there's no authority in the material world that's really an authority. I was coming back from it was once in a blue moon when I was in Prabhupada's car. So we were coming back from an engagement, and the driver, Miss Rose, we kind of got lost, and she was asking different people which way to go, and we were getting more lost. It was nighttime, and so finally she asked a policeman. The policeman said, "You're absolutely going in the wrong direction. You go here." And so Prabhupada said, and they say you don't need an authority. Then it talks about various planetaries, not planets, but different mountains that are around Mount Sumeru. And then within that range, there's other mountains. And we read about the different mountains yesterday. All right, so let's move to something other than mountains. Standing like flagstaffs on the summits of these four main mountains is a mango tree, a rose apple tree, a kadamba tree, and a banyan tree. You remember that from yesterday. These trees are calculated to have a width of 100 yojanas, 800 miles, and the height of 8,800 miles. That's it, one tree, each of the 4 trees. Now, O Maharaj Pariksit, best of the Bhatta dynasty, between these 4 mountains are 4 huge lakes. The water of the first tastes like milk. The water of the second like honey. And that of the third like sugarcane juice. So this is different from the oceans surrounding the donut land masses. The 4th lake is filled with pure water. The celestial beings, such as siddhas, charnas, gandharvas, they live for many thousands of years. Like one day of theirs is 6 months of ours. And they can fly around, and they have mystic powers, and they have airplanes made of lapis lazuli, which is a very, very expensive bluish kind of stones. And they fly around in these little airplanes, husband and wife. The 4th lake, okay, so then the siddhas, charnas, gandharvas are celestial dancers, singers, sorry. And they sing very beautiful celestial songs, who are also known as demigods, and they enjoy the facilities of those 4 lakes. All right, here's another reason that we're reading about this. People like to go to Bermuda and other places and enjoy here and there. So, and they hear about how good it is. It becomes famous by propaganda. So then here we're hearing about these amazing lakes made of, with the milk and the honey and the sugarcane juice. So, wow, I want to go there. Then we hear about what's higher than that. And then even Shiva Loka, if you go there, it's amazing. And then Vaikuntha, you hear about that, the spiritual world. And then you hear about Goloka Vrindavan. And then all the other stuff is included there. So then you don't want to go there anymore because you're hearing about something greater. Like the main, where Krishna lives, it's also shaped like a lotus flower with 1,000 petals, his abode, his planet. And within that, within the center of that, which is in Vrindavan, there's a hexagonal area, which is the Nabadweep in the spiritual world, called Svetadweep, where Lord Chaitanya and his associates are eternally dancing and remembering Krishna's pastimes. And then on the outskirts of that is Mathura, then outside of that is Dwarka, then on the outside of that is Golok. Everything is very scientifically given. And from Krishna's body and Krishna's planet comes innumerable Vaikuntha planets, which are unlimited in length and breadth, and where there's Vaikuntha. Kunta means anxieties. And so there's no anxiety there. So that's under that. And then this is under that, and that's under that. So one time, it was in Govardhan, where there were devotees collected from all over the world on Brajmandal Parikrama with Gurudev. And one man from Russia said, I don't feel like I'm making any advancement. And I've been here for years with you. So Gurudev said, okay, do you want to enjoy on the heavenly planets, enjoy these godly delights? And he said, no. All right, well, do you want to go to Vaikuntha and enjoy there eternally? And he said, no. Do you want to go to Goloka and be a mother? No. Do you want to be a friend of Krishna? No. Well, do you want to be a gopi like Lalit and Vishaka? No. Do you want to be a maidservant? Yes. So then Gurudev said, that proves you're getting so many sanskars. Your desires have changed. Okay. So all of these demigods, they enjoy facilities and those 4 lakes. Consequently, they have the natural perfections of mystic yoga, such as the power to become smaller than the smallest or greater than the greatest. Not like Krishna, but they can become very small. Like Hanuman, he jumped over the ocean. What ocean was that? In the ocean to Lanka. Then he became tiny like a little cat. And he became giant. So not like that, but not like Krishna, who's smaller than the smallest. He's smaller than an atom, and he's in the heart of the soul, even, who's 1/10,000th the tip of the hair. And greater than the greatest, he can be Mahavishnu, breathing out in and out the universes. But in a small way, the demigods also have mystic powers. They can bring anyone under their control. They can take a fruit from another planet. Yes. Loud. Scream.
I'm saying, like, does the Indian Ocean like exist, or is it just like a made-up conception, a made-up thing from our limited senses, and the actual thing is like the ocean of salt at the end of the earth? Am I overthinking it?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's India. Lord Ram appeared in India. And there's Lanka, an island off Ceylon. And then Hanuman jumped over that.
What I meant though is we're hearing right now how there's a giant ocean of salt, how there's the ocean of salt, and how the earth is shaped differently than it is in our conception. So, like, how does like the conception of the Indian Ocean fit within the conception of jumping and
I can't say.
okay.
It's just that, just like the countries, we say India and Nepal, like we make the border basically the same island, just like the Salt Ocean is all the same Salt Ocean, and we call it the Atlantic, the Indian Ocean. We give the names basically the same ocean, but it's the same quality.
Okay.
It's all the same island.
Yeah, it's not the same salt ocean that's described as within 2 land masses of donuts. Right? Yeah, we give things names. That's true. All right, so naturally, the demigods have mystic yoga perfections, such as the power to become small than the smallest or greater than the greatest. And there are 4 celestial gardens where the demigods play. So the best of the demigods, along with their wives, who are like ornaments of heavenly beauty, they don't need perfume to make their bodies smell nice because they naturally smell like lotus flowers. They meet together and enjoy within these gardens, while their glories are sung by lesser demigods, known as Gandharvas. On the lower slopes of Mandara mountain is a mango tree. Now they also have names, the trees, named Devachuta, which is 8,800 miles long, high. Mangoes, oh yeah, we were speculating about the height of the mangoes, size of the mangoes yesterday. So the mangoes are as big as mountain peaks. I don't know how they would eat them. And they're as sweet as nectar. And as sweet as nectar, they fall from the top of the tree for the enjoyment of the demigods, denizens of heaven. Then what happens with them? When all those solid fruits fall from such a height, they break, and the sweet, fragrant juice within them flows out and becomes increasingly more fragrant as it mixes with other scents. That juice cascades from the mountains in waterfalls, waterfall of mango juice, and becomes a river called Arunoda, which flows pleasantly through the eastern side of Ilavrita. The pious wives of the yakshas are like powerful sometimes yakshas and rakshasas are defined in the same group of like man-eaters and mystic villains. But let's see who they are here. The pious wives of the yakshas act as personal maidservants to assist Bhavani, the wife of Lord Shiva, because they drink the water of the river Arunada. Their bodies become fragrant, like when you take garland, you stink. You know what I mean? So because they're drinking this mango juice, um, they smell very fragrant. And as the air carries away that fragrance, it perfumes the entire atmosphere for 80 miles around. Similarly, the fruits of the jambu tree, which are full of pulp and have very small seeds, fall from a great height and break to pieces. Those fruits are the size of elephants. I don't know how you can eat it unless you're really big. And the juice gliding from them becomes a river. Oh, it doesn't matter because they just become rivers. Becomes a river named Jambu Nadi. The river falls a distance of 80,000 miles from the summit of Meru Mandara to the southern side of Ilavrita. It's like we can't really picture this, we can only hear. And floods the entire land of Ilavriti with juice. So in Prabhupada's purport, he said we can only imagine how much juice there might be in a fruit that is the size of an elephant, but has a very tiny seed. Naturally, the juice from the broken jambu fruits forms waterfalls and floods the entire land of Ilavrita. That juice produces an immense, even more. That juice produces an immense quantity of gold, as will be explained in the next verses. The mud on both banks of the river Jambu Nadi, being moistened by the flowing juice and then dried by the air and the sunshine, produces huge quantities of gold called Jambu Nada. The denizens of heaven use this gold for various kinds of ornaments. Therefore, all the inhabitants of the heavenly planets and their youthful wives are fully decorated with golden helmets, bangles, and belts, and thus they enjoy life. So the juice falls down and it makes the banks muddy, and then when the mud mixes with the sunshine and the air, it's dried by that, then it turns into gold, which turns into ornaments. On the side of the Suparsva mountain stands a big tree called Mahakadamba, which is very celebrated. From the hollows of this tree flow 5 rivers of honey, each about 5, I don't know what a vyama is, don't ask me. Oh, Gurudev says, the distance between one hand and another, when a person spreads both his arms, the distance between one hand and another is called a vyama. This comes to about 8 feet. Thus, each of the rivers was about 40 feet wide, making a total of about 200 feet. It's so inconceivable. And what to speak of Goloka? This is nothing. It's all perishable. When Lord Shiva does the dance of 36,000 years of fire and flood, becomes nothing. So the other day we were reading about the trees in Braj, that the trees the tree trunks are made of coral, and the fruits are made of pearl. Again, that's just to give an idea that more than pearls, more than diamonds, are these natural fruit trees in Braj, which we also can't conceive of it, but we're hearing. And that's purifying. So this is the last verse we'll read today. Similarly, on Kamuda mountain, there is a great banyan tree, which is called Shata Balsa because it has 100 main branches. From those branches come many roots. You know, the banyan tree has roots coming from the branches, from which many rivers are flowing from the roots. These rivers flow down from the top of the mountain on the northern side of Ilavriti Varsha for the benefit of those who live there. Because of these flowing rivers, all the people have ample supplies of milk, yogurt, honey, clarified butter, molasses, food grains, clothes, bedding, sitting places, and ornaments. All the objects they desire are sufficiently supplied for their prosperity, and therefore they are very happy. And then what happens? Then they die and take birth on earth as a plant coming out of a crack. Then they might, depending on their previous karma, they might become a human right away if they're a grain that's eaten by a human, or they may just slowly go up the chain to become a human. Okay, they don't suffer from cold or heat, or they never feel tired. Perspiration doesn't give their bodies a bad odor. This is the residence of the higher planets. Whoever enjoys the products of these flowing rivers. They don't get tired, they don't get wrinkles. Is anybody getting old here who wants to go there? No. Okay, so. There are some subterranean heavenly planets, which are called lower planets, which are like heaven. But then, And then there are lower planetary systems that are hells, which we showed some pictures the other day. Tarun? Right? Where did you read that? Because I was reading, we had to read in the Shri Radharaman Bihari Jeev Ki Jai. Aren't they beautiful? You too, Joris and Nikunja, you haven't seen them in a while. You want to come in so you get a different angle? Especially the best angle is like a little bit in front of Joris. When you get a 3/4. Full is good too. So where are we? All right, so in the 5th canto, which is this canto, and the 3rd canto, it elaborately describes the hellish planets. And there, at least what I understood from Prabhupada's translations and purports, is that as I'm practicing now, as I'm forced to practice in the in the hellish planets, like for example, you're forced to eat stool. You become a worm and you're forced to eat other worms. Then you take a body, what you practiced, like you may become a pig, according to the karma. And then you'll love eating stool.
Well, that's on when you take birth in Earth. You might take birth according to your desires. But say you had to go through like all the lowest systems, not even the nice planetary systems, the hells. It does describe like the two eternal hells. One is being stuck in the birth cycle of animal birth, because it's very quick and it's hard to make progress. So being stuck there almost forever, and then also merging with the
Can
primary.
you find that? Because I'd like to understand it
Yeah, yeah, I can.
more thoroughly, then I can comment.
It's an interesting concept because it was seeming like going to sword is even less.
Means the heavenly planets.
Going to the heavenly planets, enjoying for a finite period of time, and then based on your bad karma, you could be a plant or a worm or anything anyway. But going, it specifically said, I thought it was really interesting that if Yamaraj takes you, you are given a body just like the one that you had.
All right, yeah, let's go there. Haridas? No
Just
more?
right now, Vrindavan sound. I want to hear about Vrindavan. You know, I think I'd be more attracted if I heard about, like, when I hear that the rivers taste like mangoes, and it's just like it sounds so cool and so
Yeah.
like I'm just addicted to my tongue. So like, if I heard that about Vrindavan too, I'd be like, oh, cool, that would be,
All right.
you know, I'm not like so moved by like diamonds and jewels and pearls, so I'm kind of like, all right, cool, you know.
But the mango juice,
But
that's another thing.
the 200 feet long river, uh, 5 or 40 feet long, 40 feet wide rivers of honey where there's 5 of them, and then like a fruit river that has gold on its side. Like that sounds, and like if I
Yeah.
drink it, then I smell good. Very cool,
And no, and you won't get wrinkles.
and I won't get any wrinkles.
All right. So the reply to that is knowing that that's like one or two or three, and then Goloka Vrindavan is 100. Then we can't imagine what's so much more than that. You know what I mean? Okay. So knowing when I'm reading about Vrindavan that that's all there within it, like the land and the forests, are all made of chintamani, which is whatever you want, whatever you want. If you want a mango river, whatever you want is there. But they're so happy to be in Krishna's association and playing with him that the only thing they want with the Chintamani stones is to decorate their feet to enchant Krishna. So you'll be like that. All right, so we're going to end here. Gaur Premanandi, Panchakopatrubhyascha Kripasinubhyevacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavi. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Gaura. Nitai Gaura Haribo, Haribo, Haribo. Goa Premanandi. Can you turn the thing off? All right, so now we're going to have a very, very, very short meeting.